Hi everyone, this is Denise at Designs by Dana Denise, and today's tutorial is going to be making a wreath with this beautiful deer. I put a post on Facebook yesterday and I gave two choices between Santa and the deer, and it was 100% do the deer, which I need to do more stuff like this too. So it was kind of an eye-opener for me. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Saturday, and I'm going to get started here and hopefully get this wrapped up in about 30 minutes, and hopefully you will learn something or see something that you didn't know, or you just like watching videos like I do of people making wreaths. So here we go. Let's get started. So I've already, for time purposes, I've already attached my sign. It's a tin sign, and this one came with holes in all four corners. If your sign comes and it doesn't have holes and it's a metal sign, you can get a jewelry puncher, and you can do it with that. Punch your holes, and believe it or not, the hole looks really small, but a pipe cleaner or wire, you can use wire, pipe cleaner, whatever, pipe cleaner will fit right in it, even though it looks like it wouldn't. So anyway, so here we go. So I've studied this sign and trying to fill out what I want to pull out in the colors and stuff. I mean, that's part, I've heard people say they struggle on matching ribbon, and sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I'll look at something and I'll put some colored ribbon with it and think, no. I had one sign, it was a snowman. The sign looked pinkish, purple. I never could find ribbon. I still have that sign over in my stash. I could not ever find the right ribbon that went, yes, this is it. It just, they all clashed. The brightness, or the I didn't realize it, but there's so many different colors in one color, and so it just didn't work. So on this one today, I kind of want to pull out, you see the holly, you see the greenery, the little birds, it's brown, it's antique-y looking, it's got a creamy white background, and so I felt, of course, with it being a deer, it's more rustic. It's more, it's just more rustic. So I pulled out these three ribbons, and I wanted to pull some of that red out of the thing, but I also wanted brown. I even thought about a brown and white striped ribbon that I could have used, but I didn't really feel like it went with this, and I felt like this goes really good with the sign. So this is what I picked. So we're gonna see what we come up with. This is always a surprise for me too when I'm doing one of these. So here we go. So the first ribbon that I think I will do on my bow is the plaid. And I got this at Nick's Decor. Sometimes I write on where I got stuff and sometimes I don't. So I have been really bad lately about not doing that. So the number of this ribbon, if anyone likes this ribbon and wants it, is RGB 104610. You can go out, it's a 2.5 inch. You can go out on Nick's Decor. I don't have any affiliation. I'm small stuff here. You can go out and put that in. If you go out to his website, you can put that number in and it will call that ribbon right up. So just an FYI if you didn't know that already. So that's that ribbon, and then the red ribbon I got at Craft Outlook. It's more of a crimson red, and it is RG727805. And then this ribbon, I'm not even for sure where I got this. You can get burlap everywhere, so I don't need to tell you about that. Okay, so the first ribbon that I'm going to use in my bow is the plaid, and I'm going to determine where I'm going to put my bow. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bow about right here, and then the streamer, or you know, the streamers will, again, I don't know, maybe I'll put it right in the middle. I may put it right in the middle. Then the green will be going this way, the green will be going this way. So I think I'm going to stick to right here. So that kind of determines how I want my tails. And then I'm just going to pinch it. Well, this is my tail. Pinch it, do a loop, and figure out how big I want my loop. When I'm doing a great big wreath, I would want like an 8-inch, 7-inch loop. But with this size, this is a regular size grapevine. I think this is a 16 or 18-inch grapevine. I'm going to go with a 6-inch. 6-inch is kind of a standard loop size on making a lot of my bows for wreaths. And so then I'm just going to bring this up, pinch it again, and then I'm going to test to see, and that one's a little bit bigger than what it needs to be. So then I'm going to pinch it, make sure that my loops are even. And then I'm going to move this over and go backwards. And always get wired ribbon. I would think most people know that, but just in case, always get wired ribbon. So I've got my loop on that side. And then I'm going to turn this around, do the very same thing I did on the first one, and get my loop on this one. And I don't have it big enough, so I'm going to lower that a little. Okay. So there is that. That's my base for my bow. Got 4 of them, 4 loops. And then I will cut my tail wherever. And then we will start on the second one. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit different. I just thought of this. Totally random. I'm going to get my bow maker out and have my bow maker hold this contraption. Called it a contraption. And then, I don't know if you probably can't even see that, can you? Here, let me lower this a little. See how I can. There. Okay. I got to make sure y'all can see what I'm doing when I'm doing stuff. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a second. This is with my burlap. So I'll determine how long it's going to be. Pinch. Doing the very same thing. Making sure that my loops are 6 inches. Pinch. That one's longer. I need to get this one longer. Burlap's a little bit sticky. It wants to grab a hold of everything. And I actually think that I'm only going to do 2 loops of this one. So you can do whatever you want. You can, actually you could do 3. See, I have to sit and play with this stuff for a while. Determine what I want to do. And since this is, I don't know, I may go ahead. It's hard to tell what's the right way and the right side of the ribbon and the back side of the ribbon when you're messing with burlap. You know what? I think I'm just doing 2. I don't want to do more. I'm not someone who likes really busy wreath colors and stuff. I like to, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Is anyone else on here that way? You can comment below. I like to keep things a little simple. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with, this is one of my favorite ribbons. This is a 7.5 inch ribbon, and I really like this color, and I like 7.5 inch ribbons. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to follow the same pattern. I'm probably making this a little bit littler because that way they're not as big. Yeah, they're like 5 inch loops. I may do that's what I'm going to do. I did 6 loops on this one. Okay, so then I can put, if you have like hand problems, like say you had carpal tunnel or something like that, a bow maker, even if you're not using it to design I don't have any of those things, thank goodness. But if you do, I've heard other people talk that it does help save your hands trying to hold all this stuff while you're making things. Helps take the pressure off of your hands. Okay, so now I'm going to get a pipe cleaner, not a pipe cleaner, a zip tie. This is an awfully long one, but hey, it'll work. Cut the end off, and you get this carefully out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a pipe cleaner behind. Sorry about that. So I'm going to put a pipe cleaner on the back side here, like this. That way I can use it to attach my bow to the wreath form. And we're going to get that zip tie going here. I need my teeth. Or I need another hand. And get that real tight. And then cut that off. And I'm not even going to straighten this until I get this on here. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I think I want to do this right there. So I'm going to stick my pipe cleaners through, and sometimes that's easy and sometimes that's hard, through the grapevine. Sometimes they'll curl up on you. like to use, I was having trouble with the ribbon. I was trying to zip tie one in to the wreath yesterday, and me and it was just not getting along at all. And I think the zip tie was actually pulling the bow into the wreath so much that it was just sucking it in there where it was just not looking good. And so I finally, after 2 or 3 tries, I went, okay, we're canning the zip tie for attaching it to the wreath, and we're going to do the pipe cleaner, because you can control and adjust the pipe cleaner more, and it doesn't have to be super tight, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we have our bow, and I may end up doing something over in here maybe too. We'll just see. So I'm going to put this stuff aside, and then we'll start working on the greenery and go from there. So one of the things that you do need to do when you make a decision whether you're going to cut these ribbon tails, how you want to cut them. You can cut them like straight up, either way. You can do, I've lost my words again. You can make them look like tails, whatever. I can't remember the word. It doesn't matter. Y'all know what I mean. Okay, we're just going to do that for now. And I may shorten some of these. We'll see. Okay, so there's that. Move this out of the way. My little bow maker. Out of the way of all this flocked. One thing about working with flocked greenery is it gets everywhere. It gets on everything. Get my ribbons out of the way here. Okay. If I would do this cleaning up in the middle of every time I make something, it sure makes it more easier on you. You don't end up with junk everywhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flock. I thought, you know, it needs a little, it needs some snow too. So I was making sure y'all could see what I'm looking at here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this piece, and you can buy flocked, that piece just came off. You can buy flocked greenery a lot of different places. This probably came from Craft Outlet or Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to use my nifty cutters, maybe. Well, that's a hard one to get cut through. Oh, I did it. Okay. So, I have to pay attention to what's the front and what's the back. So, that looks like a perfect one to slap right in here. If I can find a hole big enough. Yeah. So see how easy that was? I've already got one piece up there. And let's see what we got here. This has got a zip tie on it, holding the tag. Okay, I probably won't come out. A lot of times these things have some really good tape wrapped around them. And if you're wanting to piece it up, if you cut into that, then you can see where, I don't know if you can see that, where the pieces are, so you can get their stems. So I want the stems of this one. There. So I'm going to put another one down under here. We want to keep our pattern going. You always want to make sure you're going with the flow. Probably mentioned that before on other wreaths. Oh, I like this little, it looks like a branch. I'm going to add that in here too somewhere. I'll wait till afterwards. Let me get the rest of this in. So here's some more I got to cut. There's paper all around it. And I'm doing a dry run. I've got my glue pot over here ready to, I always do, and maybe one of these days I'll be so good that I can just stick them in as I go and not have to do a dry run. But I prefer to do dry runs so that if I don't like it, there's been many a times I've ended up, I didn't like something, and so I took it, I didn't have to try to get it unglued out of a wreath. I didn't have to mess it up getting it off there. Okay, I'm doing surgery on this stem. Y'all bear with me. Gotta get mean with it sometimes. Okay, there's that one. It's a little bent. Okay, so let's see how much more. Here's another little piece. Yeah, I probably have more. I know I have more. Not probably. This is called flocked cedar, is what this stuff is called. This is called flocked cedar too. It's just some of it's a little bit more flocked than the others, and looks pretty close to the same actually, but it is two different pieces. And probably what I will do with this one is break it up into two. See, that's one neat thing about greenery, is that you can get a piece, and sometimes you can get bigger pieces even. And you can have, since you're not just slapping them all together, you can pull them apart, you can cut them, and then you'll have two pieces to distribute through the wreath instead of just all in one clump. Sometimes you need one clump, and sometimes you need smaller. And so, just a tidbit. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want some of this stuff sticking out over here. I don't like to leave that side. Let's see what this looks like down in here. I still have this piece, which I can cut it down into two. And I'm going to put it right up in here. And then this one, I'm going to put right in there. This was Okay, isn't that looking pretty? It always looks, trust me, it always looks better in person. And I've got this one little piece I might hook to a wire, and I could figure out where I want it. I might put it right there. All right, so now we're going to come in with some frosted, kind of glittery looking greenery. And this is one of my favorite greeneries that I use a lot. And it's, again, you can break this up into different pieces. If you wanted to use smaller pieces, you can, I think you can see that, where you could cut here. Then you have two pieces. For right now, I will be doing that, but I'm going to do them in bigger pieces throughout a little bit. See if that tag says anything. It just says item P as in Paul, F as in Frank, 1643. And when you break them up, if it's a slider, type greenery, some are, some aren't, where it will slide, the piece will slide down. I take some needle nose and I curve the end of it so that if some reason it would come off. Should have put my hanger on first. Then it won't slide right off if you got a lot going on with it, the wind's blowing it or something, it might, if it's on the front door. Put that there. Like I said, I probably should have put my hanger on here first. It's wanting to move sideways on me. Okay, I'm going to put this back in here. And so far, I have used this glittery bush that I gave you the number for. I've used one of those. And one bigger flocked one and one smaller flocked one. I don't understand why this isn't holding that straight. Drive you nuts. I feel like there's a hole up in here. Yeah. So that's the thing that you kind of do, is just make sure that you've got a pattern going. Like I always make sure over here, which you guys can't see. Let me put this off. I'm making sure that I've got some greenery, which I need to put some more of the glittery stuff right in there. But I'm making sure that everything, let me go back up a little bit. Everything is kind of got a flow, that there's nothing sticking way out. It's not sucked in right here where there's nothing. It's all good flowing. And you just keep adding until you get there. So I may have to dig into one more piece, one more bush of this stuff to put one here and possibly another one down here. So let me, well, hang on. I've also got some other stuff. Let me look at this. This is some bead grass that has been frosted. And it's item number FP105041. And I would have gotten this and the other greeneries. Mostly I get all that stuff from craftoutlet.com. So let's just see what this looks like in here. I don't know. It's kind of got a blue flare to me. Maybe, again, you can piece this stuff down too. Oh, that kind of looks good. Let's get some of that in here. So see how I put one thing here, one thing here. I just kind of go down as we go. Evenly distributing, but not equal right next to each other. I'm going to put one right here where I feel like I need something else besides just flocked. There, that works out. I'm going to put one right in there. So I just kind of, one here, one here, one here, one here, and we'll do one or two more. I'm still working on my lighting, doing these things. I need to probably focus on, I have a window that's behind you guys, and then you have this light coming down on this, so I don't know if the lighting is correct for what we're doing here. We'll get it though one of these days. We'll get it figured out. I'm going to put another piece of this. Well, that's if I can find a place for it. There we go. Well, I thought there we go. There. I kind of like that. It gives it kind of more of an airy look. This beaded grass, you can get it in like fall colors, regular colors, greenery. This is the frosted kind of look. And it's really popular in a lot of wreaths. I didn't realize that when you're building wreaths that you use a lot of tools that you use to do other things. All right, I may add another, because I've got a few pieces of this left. I feel like I got a hole right here. Okay, I don't know whether to put this down here or put this up in here. I think I'm going to put this up in here. Hopefully y'all agree. It's one bad thing about not doing it live. You can get other people's opinions when you do it live. I have one more stem. Might as well use it. Why not? I did a big 24-inch wreath for a sweet friend business, and you would not believe all the stuff that goes into that big of a wreath. It was pretty fun. I did get a little mad at it a couple of times. I've got it almost done, but it's still eating my lunch. Oh, where's my other, oh, we've lost him. He's back in here. He's not that long. Okay, I always like, and I do have one little tiny piece of greenery here, and I will glue him in right there. That's cute. All right, what are y'all thinking about so far? All right, so now what I want to add, because he has little berries, and I didn't know I had these cut out for a different wreath, and then I didn't use them, and I was trying to see, I'm going to have to put some picks on these, which I won't do that while you're all on here, but don't take too much time, but this one has a pick on it. Put that throughout. See how many I have here. How much time have we? Some there. And but it would be good to put one right in there. And I have one more, and I really want to add him right in here. All right, I think, now I do see like a little hole right here that I'll put some, I'll get some more greenery. Actually, I may just need to adjust this a little bit. Go. Anyway, that looks pretty good to me. I know it's probably hard for y'all to see. Let me turn that off and see if that kind of helps y'all a little bit. I don't know if it does or not. But I will be posting pictures of it. Let me shut these blinds. That might help too. just trying to see if y'all can see this better. I'll turn this light back on, see if that helps. All right, I don't know what it is. We'll have to check it out. But here it is. I used the one big flocked piece, a smaller flocked piece. Oh, and we have these little branches that we need to stick in here too. I think I'll put it back in here. But I think I'll put a pick on it so it'll be, I don't know, that would work right there. And I have another one. And I think I'll put him down in here somewhere. Those are pretty. Wish I had a third one. Okay, so I used the one big piece of flocked greenery. It was cedar. The smaller one, I used the beaded grass, one whole bush of the beaded grass. I used this frosted glittery cedar. I used one whole bush of it. And then I have these little berries. They were all broken down already because they had been on a stem. Broke them down, so it was probably 1 stick or 2 sticks of berries, and your bows and your sign and your grapevine. And so if you go to Hobby Lobby, pick up 2 or 3 pieces of flocked, pick up a couple pieces of bushes of cedars and some holly, these little holly pieces with greenery on them. Get you a sign and a grapevine base and some ribbon, and that's all you need to make a wreath. So just hope y'all enjoyed that, and I will be putting this stuff in there permanently after I did my dry run. And then this one will be, pictures will be taken and it will be posted for sale. And it will go on my Etsy shop if it doesn't sell before in a few days. I always wait, and then if it doesn't, then I put them in my Etsy shop. So you guys have a wonderful day. If you're watching this on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe and follow me, like my page. It helps this little person out here. And if you're on my Facebook and you want to be in the Dana Denise's Craft Friends group, there is a link on my Facebook page, Designs by Dana Denise. At the very top, I have it pinned, and you can click on it and like it, and then you will see more of these tutorials. So y'all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good week.